Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Simon Holdbridge of the band Existence. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated crew? Today, I'm joined by Simon from the band Existence. How are you doing this morning? This afternoon.
Afternoon. It's 4:00 here in the afternoon, and like I told you, I'm a bit hungover. Otherwise, I'm fine. Slowly getting back to normal, I guess. Being a real person again.
How
about you?
I'm good. Like I said, also not hungover, but spending time at a show, standing up, still makes you tired.
Lower back pains and whatnot.
Yes. Especially when you wear Vans. I don't know why we do
that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've hit 30 yet. 30 seems to be like a pretty horrible age.
I hit 30 like 3 weeks ago, and was a turning point.
It's all downhill.
Not physically, mentally, definitely. It's weird. I still consider myself a 16-year-old boy.
Same. Maybe not 16, maybe closer to like 18 or 19. But it's I definitely. We'll talk in 6 months and see how you feel.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I know that you've got about a liter of coffee on your side, but what are you drinking this morning?
I'm actually drinking what we in Sweden called kaffekask, which is just coffee mixed with booze. And I also added a little bit of light whipped cream on top for the healthiness of it.
You say coffee mixed with booze?
Yeah, it's pretty common here. And we also have what I'm drinking right now is our Swedish version of Irish coffee, basically. What I have here on my table is Cointreau, which is like an orange liqueur, and also some Baileys. And just black pot brewed coffee, mid roast, I guess.
Where's the coffee from?
I don't know. It's from a yellow container or red container, I guess.
Is it just like a dark roast coffee?
No, it's like a mid roast kind of. I don't really know too much about it, but we're just used to like brewing shit ton of coffee and having fika all the time. We drink a shit ton of coffee in Sweden, and not really concerned about, of course, like high quality coffee and but it's just basic regular shit, I guess you would say.
That's interesting. I've never heard of the Cointreau Baileys mixture. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's like it tastes almost like orange chocolate. I don't know if you have it in Canada or the US or where you're listening from, but it's kind of chocolatey, orangey. Delicious, sweet as fuck.
Yeah, of course. We use Cointreau for I don't know if y'all do like margaritas, but we usually use Cointreau in like our margaritas.
Yeah, isn't it also like what you mix with to get one of those drinks? The Sex and the City drink, isn't it Cointreau in that one as well, right?
I have no idea.
Cosmopolitan. I'm thinking about Cosmopolitan.
Yeah,
right?
You can use it. You can use it in a Cosmo. Yeah.
Cosmo. Sorry. I'm obviously not a mixologist or like
the Sex and the City drink. Sex and the City drink. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I've never watched it, so that's fine.
Oh, right. Yeah. What do you say? Margaritas? You mix with Cointreau? That sounds really good, actually.
So you can use like triple sec, but a lot of people switch out triple sec for Cointreau, or Also, you can do one called a Cadillac margarita where you use Grand Marnier,
Okay, yeah. Because I
which
always thought Cointreau was like triple sec. What's the big difference there? Do you
it's
know?
basic. I think it's basically the same thing. I think
Yeah.
Cointreau has more orangey
Mm,
flavor, and the triple sec is definitely more of like a lemony citrus.
gotcha. Yeah.
But I prefer the Grand Marnier because I'm bougie and cognac is like cool, I guess.
Yeah. That's dope.
But yeah, it's good. I don't even. It depends on who you are. Like I think in the U.S., a lot of like you're like, do you know what Chili's is?
Uh, I've seen it on an episode of The Office, pretty much.
Okay, well, that's all
Yeah.
you need to know.
The
So
blooming onion, or yeah.
yes, exactly. So Chili's, I would say a Chili's margarita is probably made with Cointreau, but like
Oh
if you
yeah.
want like a real like Texas or like from Mexico style margarita, then you would just do like lime juice and agave syrup
Yeah.
and shake it with tequila, and that's pretty much your
Tequila
margarita.
and yeah, just salt on the brim, and yeah, you're done.
Yeah. And then if you want to be like
That's delicious.
real Texan about it, you can add another shot of tequila on top. And that's
Yeah, that
but
sounds even better actually.
we're not dealing with an alcoholic here.
No, yeah, I'm a bad influence on this podcast. I'm really sorry. This is the best I could come up with. I just drink by the quantity, not the quality.
There you go. That's
Yes,
fine.
it's like a normal Swede. Like we chug a lot of brew.
So you're not like the Danes in the sense of like, it's got to be like all high quality, super controlled, like, like picked it
yeah,
myself from the farm. Like it's more like we're
yeah,
utilitarian about it.
pretty much. I would personally consider like the Danes in Denmark, and especially Copenhagen, which is I think the only Danish town which I've ever spent time in for uh, their whole scene around like specialty coffee, which I'm not aware of actually, but like um, microbreweries and stuff. There, it's just so big there.
Mm-hmm.
We have like it's like microbrewing in Stockholm has become a thing over the past few years, I'd say, but it's definitely not as big as it is in Denmark, and
Mm-hmm.
they're yeah, it's more usual, common in those kind
Right.
of types of scenes there, I guess. Yeah,
So
definitely.
I spent a little bit of time in Copenhagen, like actually before we met at Outbreak,
Oh,
and I spent like 3 or 4 days there, and I was like crazy surprised. I had known about it before, obviously, that's why I went. Was for
mhm.
the coffee, but even like the brewing scene, I didn't expect it. Um,
Yeah.
and my wife is like she does home brewing and is like a big like beer person. And
Mhm.
so we stumbled across a brewery that was run by this family from Sweden, and they had opened it in Copenhagen, called Oben, which amazing brewery. And
Yeah.
yeah, like we spent like hours there just chilling with was it Andreas was the guy's name who like owns it, I guess. But yeah, so even just stumbling into a random brewery was like a great experience.
Mhm.
So I did not expect that at all. I expected like good food and good coffee, but not like crazy
Yeah.
good beers.
Yeah. No, but no, I Denmark and Copenhagen are like Copenhagen. I can only speak for Copenhagen since that's the only city I've really been to. But food scene and yeah, they have a lot of good food. I think they have like one of a couple of the best restaurants in the world, like placed considered like first, second, and third or something.
Yeah,
Every time you go there, they have you can get whatever for from wherever, I guess. Pretty much. That's my take on it.
so expensive.
It's shit expensive. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just a weird but nice and natural city as well. It's just yeah, walking around Copenhagen. We actually did that this summer during our tour. It was the first show on that tour and our first pit stop, and we just went around the city and just ate a bunch of good burgers. Yeah.
Do you do the hot dogs too?
Pölse, yeah, we kind of have like the same interest in hot dogs, I guess. I would say we eat a lot of hot dogs here as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hot dog thing was funny because usually you think hot dogs are like American,
Yeah.
but then like you go to like Denmark or Sweden and hot dogs are everywhere. It's like
Mm.
I thought this was American, and the hot dogs there
Yeah.
are like way better.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like real bright red hot dogs before, or
Mhm.
like the casing bright red?
Yeah,
It's kind of a weird thing, but I don't know what's that about, but yeah,
it's good.
it's a big staple, I guess, from Danish staple.
Is it
So,
like this? I don't know if it's like spicy or what, but it was. I tried one and it was like,
mm,
oh, this is better than most hot dogs back home.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
had so much good food. I didn't make it to Sweden because I know like the border there is like what is it, Malmo?
yeah, Malmo and what is it, Copenhagen? Yeah, I guess not Copenhagen. I'm really bad at geography, but yeah, Malmo is the city
Yeah,
you go
it's
to. Yeah,
like you can cross like the big like channel or river or whatever. I guess it's a river, but yeah.
they have like a bridge going across Malmo, but then you can also take ferries from different towns in Denmark. Just on a boat ride. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that close until I was there. I was like, oh, Sweden's literally right here.
Yeah, it's about an hour from
Mhm.
Copenhagen.
Well, tell
So
me,
you've never been to Sweden, or
no,
you wanna go?
yes,
Yeah, definitely
yeah,
should
like
come.
I like just the bit of time that we spent because we went to like Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Brussels, which I don't think and no offense to anybody listening if you're from Brussels, but it just wasn't my vibe. Like I live in Montreal, which I feel like is the better version of Brussels. Um,
I can understand that.
but
Yeah.
like Amsterdam, I would go back to because I feel like I don't like the center part. I know you've probably been to Amsterdam,
Um, Actually, no. Like it's one of the few cities in like that part of Europe that I've never been to. Actually, yeah,
but the
unfortunately.
center is like a toilet, like it's garbage. But
Mm,
if
yeah.
you stay like on the outside, like there's a lot of really cool things. Like
Mm,
you can take the free ferry across the river to NDSM, where they've got
mm,
like the first like graffiti and street art museum. Art City is over there. They have like one of the largest like makers kind of flea markets in Europe, and that was really cool.
cool.
So there's like a lot of great stuff over on that side. And then if you stay on like the outside, like there's a lot of really good museums and like breweries and coffee shops. And like one of the best coffee shops I've ever been to was in Amsterdam.
What did you have there?
It's called Fried. It's a coffee shop by Fried Hats. It's called Fuku, Fuku,
Mm,
and it's like you walk in and there's like a list of coffees on the wall that you can just pick if you want a pour over or espresso from like 20 different coffees,
mm.
which is crazy to be able to do that. And then like just really good pastries. The service is like amazing and it's super like calm and quiet. But that's pretty much everywhere. Like I feel like in Europe is a lot of like people are calmer than
Yeah,
North
yeah.
America, like more
Yeah.
reasonable.
You think? Yeah. Oh,
I'm
you
sensing
think?
a bit of sarcasm.
No, I've been through different parts of Europe, and depending on which city you end up in, you meet a lot of different kind of types of people. Uh, we've been a lot. We've been visiting Germany a lot. It was one of our first tours with some guys from Berlin, Leipzig, and Mannheim. I think they've all moved to Mannheim now, most of them. But you know, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met, or as a band that we've been in contact with. But generally, people in Germany are so um, they're so anti like any type of foreign visitors. It's just like something in their yeah, something about it is just like it's weird.
Like outside of Berlin, or like even people in Berlin?
No, it's like they're unwilling to speak English, and we're just fucking couple of kilometers above them, I reckon. But yeah, it's
Right.
but some cities are just like Cologne is just it's totally different vibe there. Everyone is just fucking open and willing to communicate with you, help you out.
It's very
You don't have to
interesting.
drag it out of them, just like straight answer. So it's
I
like
mean,
that. Kind of different.
it's similar here in Quebec, because Quebec is like the only French speaking region in all
Mm,
of North and South America. And
mm,
so people outside of Montreal, I would say people are reluctant to speak English just
mm.
because they feel like they're losing their like French culture.
Yeah. Get
And so there is a bit of like that like reluctancy against like foreign visitors and even like immigrants sometimes. And
Mm,
but I think it's out of fear. It's not so much out of like hatred.
mm,
And then in Montreal, it's so like diverse that anywhere you go, like I hear more Spanish than English or French now, which
mm.
is very weird. But
Yeah.
it is very like regional. So I
Yeah.
guess I
Yeah. I
understand.
understand.
They don't want to learn. They don't want to lose their Germanness.
Yeah, I think it's a pride thing. I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah. Yeah. I, yeah. In some way, I can understand that. I guess. I don't know really. It's just yeah.
Yeah, but
It's an interesting take on it. Yeah. But do
I,
you speak any French or Spanish or?
so my wife is actually from Mexico, so I
Okay.
do speak quite a bit of Spanish. Like I speak enough to like order in a restaurant or
¿Cómo
like
estás? Yeah.
bien, muy bien.
Yeah. Muy bien. Soy muy
uh,
cansado.
yeah,
That's yeah.
is that the
That's
extent of
adorable.
your Spanish?
Yeah, yeah. I actually got an F plus on my what you call it, like a grad school Spanish. I took it for 3 years, and my final exam was like my final result was an F
That's
plus for
so
trying.
the plus for because your effort was
Yeah,
there. You're just not good at it.
yeah, yeah. Here's a dumbass, but plus for trying.
Do you speak French?
That's interesting. No, not at all. I tried Duolingo a couple of times, but I never really got anywhere close to knowing any French except for I know one phrase, "Je mange une pomme,"
I know
which
that
is
one too.
yeah.
Do you love apples?
I love apples and I eat them also. Yeah,
J'aime les pommes et je mange les pommes.
je mange les pommes. Yeah, it's
Uh,
hilarious.
but yeah, I mean, I do want to go to Sweden to answer your question.
Mm.
I want to play in Sweden too.
Yeah, hit us up.
That'd be sick.
We'll get you a show. Yeah.
Um, so you play in Existence.
Yep.
Are there any other hardcore bands in Stockholm?
Definitely there are. Yeah, we're just getting a lot of attention towards our scene since I think the restrictions just broke loose. I guess a lot of people are coming to shows, and a lot of people are at least interested in starting new bands. Although it's not as big as in Gothenburg. Do you know where Gothenburg is?
Not
It's one of
geographically, no.
the bigger cities. It's on the west coast, well above Malmö, if you know where
Okay.
that is. Yeah. There's been like a big pop up of younger people going to shows and starting new bands, which is really dope. Although we have some bands in Stockholm at least playing regularly, but speaking about newer bands and a flourishing scene, I guess you would say Gothenburg takes the lead here
Okay.
in Sweden, which is really dope and yeah, positive.
That is
Getting
good.
the vibes from it. Yeah. Oh yeah, from one noteworthy band from Stockholm is the band we've been touring and playing with a lot, and which you probably met at Outbreak Speedway. Is they're signed to uh, what label did they sign to? Yeah, they're becoming bigger internationally, and they're dope. I just listened to the new Milspec album from which came out yesterday. Have you listened to it?
No, I didn't even know it came out because I'm like kind of, I obviously I know Milspec, but I just don't keep up with them as much as I probably should.
Yeah. All
But
right. Yeah.
I have friends that are like basically like mutual friends of theirs.
Hmm. And we also had him come play a show in Sweden. What was it like? Just after COVID dissolved, I guess. But it sounds really similar to the new Milspec album, this band Speedway.
So it's like very, very fast.
Fast, positive, and just youth crewy vibes, I guess. Yeah,
So
I dig it.
Speedway's on Revelation Records. I just looked at it.
Revelation, yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's like a fucking legendary label.
Yeah, and they're really like progressive and driven, I guess. Yeah, they're gonna make it, I believe.
I didn't even realize Speedway was from Sweden.
Mm. Oh, like, we actually share the same merch booth in on Outbreak, but when we met and started talking, I think they were watching some other show, I guess. Mm-hmm. So maybe you didn't meet them. Yeah.
It was like Spy, or maybe it was Demonstration of Power was playing or something like that.
No, I think maybe after Demonstration of Power we came back to the merch stand, and there you were, and we were talking during the entire break between them and some other band that were playing afterwards. It was like we still didn't talk for like half an hour, I think.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that long, but then when I looked at my watch, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I could easily hit like 2 hours. Yeah.
But yeah, because was that the day? Man, that whole fucking fest blend together. Like
yeah.
It was such a blur. But like I remember watching like Pain of Truth, I think, after we talked. I think that's what maybe. It was fucking so good.
Did you watch Trapped Under Ice on Monday?
Yeah, I did. I watched like the first half of their set. Like I didn't watch the whole thing because I was in like you couldn't get into the middle. Like I know that you know this. Like you could not get into that stupid corral.
Yeah. I had to go home from because of work, but I'm bummed that I missed them. Never seen them live before, but I saw some pictures and it was fucking crazy.
Do you see Speed?
Yeah, Speed. Yeah, good set. We actually played with them in Gothenburg. They actually brought them there a couple of weeks before Outbreak. It was like 3 weeks before, and their set was just as amazing in Gothenburg as it was in Outbreak. Just tons of energy, like overflow of energy. They're one of the dopest bands around, I think.
Did they like? I feel like consistency is their word. Like they're just always consistent, and like you said, just crazy energy. Every set I've seen from them, like even I saw a video from the one they played in Toronto, which was like a 300, 400 capacity venue. And it was still like, it was like they were playing to an Outbreak crowd.
Yeah. The same in Gothenburg. I think we were 350 or something, sold out months in advance. They're also so. Yeah, no, I was just saying that they're so. That they're really humble, like on stage and after their set, talking to them, they're just good guys.
Yeah. I've
really heard impressive.
I've heard interviews with like Jim and like Aaron, and they just seem so nice, like genuinely nice.
Yeah, I think they were one of the first interviews to drop from their the Outbreak podcast or whatever. But I haven't heard it yet, so I'm gonna do it after this. Yeah,
I'm so behind on those. Like I listened to the Buggin' one live. And I wanted to like go back and listen to it because I really enjoyed like what Brianna had to say about
Mhm.
like their experience in hardcore.
Yeah, but I feel like everything like surrounding like Outbreak this year, it has just been like since it's like we played Outbreak in 2019 at a venue in Leeds. I can't remember what it's called. It's just I
Canal
think
Mills?
they're what
Canal Mills?
Canal Mills. Yeah, you got it. And at that time, their capacity was around like 3,500. This year, moving to what's it called, Manchester. They reached like well, from what I heard, they brought in like 10,000 people, and everything that surrounds it is like so much bigger. And I don't know if they changed something around with it, like the whole planning of the festival, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
so much around seeing shows and shit, podcast
Yeah.
episodes and stuff. Yeah,
I know they started the podcast
hard to keep up with.
last year they did the podcast as well. And I listened to like Jimmy Wizards. And I think Will Yip also did one last year, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But this year it was like the scale was just so much more than even last year. And
Yeah,
last year was like 6,000 people, I think, at
yeah.
the bowling center. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it was a little overwhelming, but I'm not a festival person. Like
It's
I don't
definitely
go.
overwhelming. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but I mean, overall, like it was fun to meet people. Like I got to hang out with some friends that I have from Scotland that I only ever get to see when Outbreak is happening.
demonstration of power and spies or those guys
No,
or
it's not them. No, it's some dudes from Inverness, which is like really
yeah,
far northern Scotland.
Inverness. I need to look that up.
They have a metalcore band that's pretty good.
I love metalcore.
Me too.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard from a recent from recent episodes that you were you were in the you got into hardcore through more of a like as a scene kid, or did you listen to all like metalcore and deathcore bands?
yes,
Yeah.
but like the new deathcore is hard for me because I feel like
Mm,
it's a little cringe now. Like it's a little
yeah,
too much going on. I feel like it's lost the core aspect. But
definitely.
like Suicide Silence was probably my favorite deathcore band ever. And I don't know if you feel this way, but
Yeah, I was into them, but I think more I was into. I guess you would call this even more cringe than Suicide Silence, if you consider it cringe. But also Parish was one of my favorite bands.
that's a good band.
Yeah, like because right now I consider it like as a guilty pleasure, but I still fuck around to that. I still listen to it quite often, actually, more than I wanted a bit.
Yeah. So I
Uh,
mean, I don't listen to like I think my deathcore listening stops at like 2010. Like I
mm,
don't really listen to anything. Like new stuff comes out and it's like I'll listen to like a few seconds and I'm like it's just too produced. When
mm,
like when you go back and listen to like some of the original stuff, it was all recorded like in the same room together.
yeah,
So
definitely.
that's
Yeah,
when I liked it. I liked it when it was like nasty and raw and scary.
I think like the whole thing around like metalcore and breakdowns in general is like it's overdone, like in a way that it's just like almost listening to someone who's trying to be more creative with breakdowns and like the actual heaviness of it, if you
Yeah.
would consider that. Yeah. So yeah, is there any other bands, like recent bands, that you've been impressed by? Speaking about like talking about metalcore or yeah, deathcore.
So Dying Wish, I would say
Yeah.
it reminds me of As I Lay Dying's first album, which
Mm.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Love that
Um,
slate.
Foreign Hands.
haven't heard.
You should listen to Foreign Hands. Do you like early 2000s metalcore?
Yeah, definitely.
So
The band Mystery Signals and stuff.
so they're more like Poison the Well, Seven Angels, Seven Plagues
Mm.
style of metalcore, but Foreign Hands is
Okay, yeah.
very good.
Perhaps I'm gonna look that up. Um, yeah, nice. Well, gotta start somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Not everyone started out with like fucking Slayer and that cool metal, you know.
Cool metal.
Cool metal, yeah. I
Well,
definitely listened to cool metal in my teens.
you didn't?
No, not really. I didn't know those bands existed, I guess.
You didn't listen to like because I know like when you think of Sweden, you think of like HM2 death metal.
Yeah, yeah, like Entombed and whatever you wanna, yeah.
In
No,
Flames, is that
In
or
Flames
am I
is yeah, like the Gothenburg bands like In Flames, The Haunted, and was it Dark Tranquility? No, I was into to In Flames, but it's like yeah, it's not as cool as Entombed, obviously.
Entombed is sick. There and I like the Haunted, but to me, even I think it's a little more goofy than like Entombed.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's goofy.
Especially now seeing Ola England's like content on YouTube. He's like the biggest goofball I think in the world.
Over England.
You know the guy
Yeah,
that's like Will It Chug and
over England. Oh yeah, I don't know too well actually, to be honest.
you should
But
watch
over
his stuff.
England, I
It's so
yeah,
goofy.
yeah, I will definitely. Yeah, that has put a lot of that has put a big name uh, in metal, I guess, as far as Sweden. Gothenburg sound, definitely.
But that's when I think of Sweden. I think of like old school like death metal. That's not
Mhm.
American, obviously. So like yeah, like Entombed. That HM2 sound, like just like the
Yeah,
chainsaw fucking guitar.
yeah.
So that's why I'm always whenever I hear like there's hardcore coming out of like Stockholm or Gothenburg, I'm like, I wonder if it's just gonna be like really, really heavy, like hardcore shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we're also
So,
home to like a lot of crust bands and Sheng Kang, if you're into that,
mhm. I mean,
which
I'm
is
not super into it, but I
yeah, which is a lot of it's really big in Japan, or it has been at least. I don't know anymore, but we have like Japanese bands writing lyrics in Swedish. I remember seeing a band called Schizophrenia in one of our Stockholm venues, and like, yeah, this band sounds dope. They're from Japan. I just looked them up before that show because I haven't heard them before, and they had lyrics in Swedish. It's crazy. They're really into like totalitär and yeah, obviously anti-Semitic and but yeah, they're trying to Swedish Kang sound chain, which literally means boot,
Kang.
laced boots and stuff. Yeah, King chain. Yeah.
Is it like a skinhead related thing or
Uh, I would no, I would say it's more like crusty, I guess.
okay?
Yeah, but D beat, I guess you would yeah compare it to.
That's the bassist of my band is like
Yeah.
he's not as into D beat as the rest of his like other band, but he plays in a band called Sweat, which is basically just D beat.
Mm.
And yeah, it's really funny. Like I think it's semi a joke and semi real, but it's like very crusty D beat. But they're
Yeah,
putting out a demo soon.
I know there's a whole world to D beat and stuff, and I really enjoy listening to it, but I know jack shit about it,
Yeah, I don't know
unfortunately.
anything. Like I said, I'm a scene kid. Like I know like,
Yeah.
attack.
Attack. Oh yeah.
Were you a scene kid?
Not actively, no, but yeah, I was. Well, I guess you would consider it. Yeah, I was. I wasn't dressed the part, but I was listening to those bands when it was popular, I guess. So yeah, I started there. I had some like Metallica albums that I started listening to, and then all of a sudden I just got into that by some. I always started to thought of it like as I really wanted to find the heaviest thing I could possibly find and explore, and I went into like another into that, I guess.
Was like Warped Tour, like I know that y'all didn't really have. Did y'all have Warped Tour?
No, but I downloaded those Warped Tour, those compilation albums. I had all of them in my MP3 back in the day. I have a favorite from like 2007, in which were like I explored like or I found Alex on Fire, which became one of my favorite bands. Canadian, of course.
Y'all need to come to Canada. You would love it.
I wish that, man. That's one of my biggest goals, actually, with the band or playing music in general, coming to Canada and the US. But as far as like both Canada and US's current migration laws, we're not really allowed into those countries.
I thought Canada you can as an artist.
No, I heard it's tougher than the US regarding like.
Guilt Trip did it.
Guilt Trip, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, of course I've heard them. Yeah, but no, we have as far right now as it's not an option, unfortunately. Yeah.
Damn. I definitely forgot to say what I was drinking. So while you're refilling, I'm gonna do that. When I was at Hold Your Ground a couple of weeks ago in Toronto, I met up. Do you know the band's Endgame?
Endgame. Don't really know. I kind of. I think I've heard the name before.
Well, the host of this podcast called Scoped Exposure, he is in that band, and we like met up for some coffee while he was in Toronto as well, because they're from Winnipeg. And we went to Backroad Coffee, which this one's called Drunken Love, which I guess is fitting for this specific episode. But it's
what's that picture? It's like a woman riding on a.
It's like a little child
on a barrel,
riding on a turtle with a barrel shell.
Barrel shell, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is a barrel aged coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never had that
like
before.
Like a rum cask or whatever.
Yeah. So like the notes on it, and as soon as I opened the bag, it was just like really vanilla, like a lot of vanilla like smell. But the kind of the notes on it are spiced rum and soaked pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, that's nice. Have you ever had that cake or?
Yeah, it's
upside
not
down cake.
Yeah, so it's like a sponge cake almost. But you do like a pineapple kind of glaze over the top.
That sounds so dope.
It's very good, very sweet. Yeah. But yeah, when I tasted it, it almost tastes like you're drinking like not an Irish coffee, but like a coffee with like rum in it. Yeah,
well, I can kind of like understand it because like vanilla and spiced rum is like really synonym to each other, I guess. That sounds nice. How did you brew it? Because I've heard that you. There's more ways than putting like a fucking pot on heat, I guess. Yeah.
I do like a pour over. So it's like the V60 is what it's called. Where it's like a cone with some ridges in it, and then just do like a recipe from this British guy that I like. But yeah, I do that for like most of my coffees because the recipe just works pretty much with anything. And this is like one of the most interesting coffees I think I've ever drank. I didn't expect it at all.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it literally smells like a cup of rum.
Cup of rum. Yeah.
Cup of rum. I feel like Johnny Depp. I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So shout out Spencer from Scoped Exposure for putting me on to Backroads Coffee in Port Hope.
Spence? Yeah. Get some drunken coffee up in that system.
Drunken Love.
Drunken.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Have you ever, like, my question to you is, like, have you ever bought a really expensive coffee and just the minute you drink it, you burn your tongue and you get disappointed that you can't taste any of the flavors?
More than once, for
Happened.
sure. Like, this definitely happened like multiple
It's so
times.
impractical. Yeah. I always burn my tongue in the morning. Like, it's like fucking scalding hot coffee in a thermos, which locks in all the heat.
Yes.
The first sip you take, you just on your way, like on the subway, on your way to work or school or whatever, you just burn your tongue, and 30% of your day is just messed up.
Yep. Especially if you don't have like cold water or something, you can't just like, try to fix it really quick.
Yeah.
No,
or ice cubes,
Yeah, ice cubes. who just has ice cubes? I guess in the winter here you could grab some snow and like put it, but like
yeah. Oh, you just bring an ice tray to everything, man.
Yeah, just bring a tray of ice with you. It's gone in like 3 minutes. There's no more ice.
Yeah, it's good after like exiting the pit and you have like a swollen nose or something, man. Just go for the tray.
Yeah, just put a tray of ice on your face.
Yeah, we get a ton of snow as well, so just I'll try that next time.
Yeah, you should. I know that you're like one of the only people that I've talked to for like a long time that would understand the snow struggle.
Yeah, I think it's like I've always been interested in Canada and North America since actually like reading textbooks from high school, or because we have part of our history is one really like period of struggling in Sweden was like during the turn of the century, from the 1800s to the 1900s, where like I think 1.1 million Swedes emigrated to northern US and Canada, and just to seek a better life, I guess, because we experienced like a ton of famine and like depression, I guess. And the history books or textbooks, at least, they bring up that like since Canada and the northern US was like really similar to our climate and stuff, people felt really positive about, let's create a new home here, I guess.
I wonder where the highest concentration of Swedish, like displaced Swedish Canadians are.
Well, I think like the northern states in the US is what's it, Wisconsin and as I said, like I'm dog shit at geography, especially American but I think the northern US and Canada is where most Swedes are concentrated. Even
I would
today,
imagine it's like the Midwest. Like it seems like that would be like you said, Wisconsin, Minnesota, like that area. Which I guess north of there is like Calgary, Saskatchewan. Yeah. Because I know I've known people that have Ukrainian names in like Saskatchewan. Yeah. So like I don't know when like there was a big Eastern European immigration, but at one point there was like a large immigration of Eastern Europeans coming to Canada because their family's been there for like 100 years as well.
Okay.
So it's very
maybe
interesting.
They experienced something similar and it's in their textbooks. I don't know.
I don't know. But even the Canadians don't know about it. Like we don't know like when that happened.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's talk about Existence. Go to Heaven. It's out for what, 6 months now? Came out in March.
To check. Yeah, something like that. We've been previously working on it for quite a long time. It's our first full-length album, following up on our promo, of course, and our 7-inch from 2018. It came out in March, through Quality Control.
So did you guys during the pandemic, were y'all just writing on it, recording it, and then waiting for, I guess, the right minute to put it out?
No, not really like awaiting it, even though it might appear to be like that. We were just we really like got into a kind of thing where we wanted it to be as good as it could be, and we we had started writing a couple of songs right after we dropped our first EP, and it just took a long time to complete everything, I guess, with artwork and how we wanted to approach it. And but our all the songs were like, I think they were recorded and like mixed and mastered 8 months before it actually dropped. And then it's just things took so long, like getting it ready, you know.
Yeah, waiting on other people like for things.
Yeah, or well, we also like took some time to decide which way we wanted to go, like with artwork and whatnot. And we were all so proud of how we came out with the artwork. Yeah, it's based on an old. I think it was the first T-shirt we actually put out in or printed in 2017 when the band started, and our vocalist's girlfriend did a full oil painting on that T-shirt, and just yeah, it came out really great. We're really proud of it. But we're always we've always been very thoughtful to like artwork and you know, design with whatever we're putting out. So that was one of the factors, and you know, yeah, which who we're going to go with considering mixing and mastering and stuff. So yeah.
Was that done locally,
Sure,
or
sorry.
the mixing and the mastering and all that?
I actually can't remember who mastered it. I'm really bad with remembering names and stuff.
That's fine.
I'll take yeah. But no, we had some people like the guy who mastered our mixed and mastered our first 7-inch is a local guy, or I guess not really local. He's from northern regions of Sweden, and is super impressive. We were super happy with him, but we also wanted to like explore what it could sound like, or what it might sound like with just stretching it out. Yeah.
The mix on it is like very different than what I imagine when I think of like a crossover record. Because Prowl, I think, had one of the biggest like crossover kind of releases of like 2022. At least in North America, like they put out a record called The Forgotten Realms.
Forgotten Realms, yeah.
And the sound on it is very much that power trip kind of like very like big, a lot of reverb, like old school kind of thrash elements. And y'all's is definitely much more like dry, organic, hardcore, like infused.
Yeah.
So I think that the contrast there is like very cool. Like that even within like kind of the crossover bands, you have like the more hardcore leaning, and then you've got like the more thrash leaning, which have completely different sounds and feels, but are still kind of could pair well together.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were discussing. Although it's really hard to explain or kind of like discuss certain sounds and like how it might apply to our songs, you know, before you have a listen to it. But we were discussing that actually, like we want it big and bold and like crisp, and or do we want to go more of the soda can sounding vibe, you know?
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like it's all like just really mids.
Yeah. And I think personally it kind of suits our our theme, I guess, for lyrics go, like a lot of anxious and dark lyrics, and it's just the claustrophobic vibe kind of matches with that, I think, which is yeah.
I really like the snare sound.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a real snare.
Our drummer really likes snares. Yeah, he's a big snare guy, and I used to play drums in a band before, and I've played drums in a lot of smaller bands and everything. And I've always liked like tight wound drums or tight tuned drums, but I kind of really dropped on me that like, fuck, I love big snares.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think this record and the snare sound was like a turning point for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
I hate playing on like a lower tune snare, unless it's like the
you want it
music.
to pop and like
Yes.
You want everything to pop when you're behind drums. I guess.
Like I want it to just be the tightest thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
But like I will say for recording, the big snare sound, it just fits really, really well.
It's not always like applicable to whatever you're doing. It's just, definitely. I'm not a person you should ever consult in of those things.
What's the snare sound going to be? Just tune it as tight as it'll go. Just pop it.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of like videos on one of my favorite videos by Hey56 is I think it's Bane FM from 2021, where he's just he just beats that snare.
Yeah, it's great.
To a coma, and it's one of the best snare sounds. But it wouldn't really like be that kind of snare sound wouldn't be applicable to our songs. It would just take the edge of it, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah, because
I love it.
I think with the grooves that y'all have, you need that big, like, wide snare to like fill out the space in between, like but in Vane, it's like a barrage of fucking hits. So
it's just noise, yeah.
You just need it to
it definitely
pop
creates an atmosphere around it, which is something to consider. Which is what I really like, and what I think is one of our one of our strong sides, I guess. Atmosphere.
Also, I've watched some of the videos that y'all have, like live, and your vocalist is kind of a madman.
Yeah, he sure is. Linus.
Like it looks like he's gonna hit somebody.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, yeah. Linus is the carrier of the band in energy, of course. We all try, but he's he takes up a big space live, definitely.
Yes, I'm a big fan of scary energy on stage.
Yeah, scary Viking.
Has he ever like hit somebody on accident or like on purpose?
Well, on purpose, yeah. But when we play shows in Stockholm, it's just gets not sometimes, but it's all in good.
Oh yeah, it adds to it. It's friends.
Yeah, friends. Yeah, just fucking around, having fun. No, yeah. Not an accident though. We would, Well,
yeah.
You're watching a hardcore band here. If you get punched by accident, it's just like, it's gonna come sooner or later.
When y'all played Copenhagen, where did y'all play?
We played Copenhagen during the duration of our band. We played Copenhagen for three to five times. I've been on with them 3 times, and they did a tour when I was I couldn't be excused from work, so I think they played Copenhagen there without me. But we always played Ungdomshuset. Have you seen any shows in Denmark? It's probably at Ungdomshuset.
When I was in there, when I was there visiting, it was around the time so Killtown was happening the same weekend as Outbreak, which is mostly like crusty and like old school hardcore punk.
Mm.
But I've like tried to look and see what venue bands go to, and like even if there was like more capital H style hardcore happening, and I couldn't find anything.
Well, I think like I guess you could, if you would like to include them, like it's in a category, it's like D-beat, crust, I guess, psych punk, whatever K-Town. Yeah, that's from what I've considered. It's bigger there than any like capital H style bands. It's just a bigger scene there,
Mm-hmm.
punk scene, punk wise, I guess. But the same venue, that's they always host K-Town in Massachusetts,
Oh, okay.
or at least from what I know. Yeah, it's a really sick venue actually. It's like three or four story house, and it's just small stage.
Mm-hmm.
During K-Town, they have I think that they open up another stage which is a little bit bigger, but I've never been there actually. I've had a lot of friends and good bands from Sweden who played there during the years, but that's the only venue we've ever played, and it's always a good time. I remember the first tour we did and the first show during that tour. It was with the German band Total Reality. I don't know if you've heard them. They don't exist anymore as far as I know. But we met up with them in Berlin. But the night before we played K-Town, and we just got there, and we realized we were scheduled to play at like 1:30 on a Friday a.m. like Friday night.
Yeah.
So they start their shows off at like 10, and then the last band obviously it's 1:30, which is
Jesus.
really really odd to us, but it was a good time. It's always a good time when we play there.
What's your
Good
favorite city?
vibes.
What's so far been your favorite place to play, like in Europe?
I would say as far as Europe wise, they're not a part of Europe or the EU anymore, or but we definitely love Leeds. It's we played Snugglefest, which was like a New Year's Eve event
Mm-hmm.
in Leeds. Called the venue was called Temple of Boom. The first venue we played in the UK, because we've been going back and forth to the UK on a lot actually. One of our big supporters, and we love everything about the UK people and the bands that are out there. But definitely like that venue. Every time we played it, I think we did 3 times. Besides that, I don't know actually. Like we have a venue here in Stockholm that's called Cyclopen. Like it's Cyclop.
Okay.
Translates to it's actually one of the few places we can book for events, which isn't shit expensive, and and I really love that place. It's just like I would describe it as like a light steel structure in the middle of nowhere next to a skate park, a big concrete skate park, and they just what would you say, like the fascia is just fucking plastic sheets. It's just a municipal it's just in that area it's just like fronted by like people from they made like the municipal office just fund it to host cultural events and stuff. It's just in the middle of in the woods next to a skate
Like
park.
it's like a little industrial, like
yeah, pretty much. And when we host all kinds of they host all kinds of events there. It's just they're celebrating 10 years actually today. It was burned down a couple of years ago, and then they rebuilt it. So it's just quick and cheap and easy, and it's just always a good time when you get there. That's one of my favorite places to play, actually. Yeah.
I'm sure it makes for good stories, like scary stories.
Yeah, scary and happy stories. Mostly happy, yeah. Definitely.
We even in Montreal, there's like only a few places that you can really book for shows.
Mm. Is it
like,
because of price or
price and also availability?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like the main one is Fufuna Lectis, which is, it's been around for like since what, like the 70s, 60s or 70s. But like Nirvana played before they released Nevermind, and like there's been a lot of legendary bands come through and play. Yeah. But the stage is like 5 feet high. So like a little under like 2 meters tall. And then like it's really narrow too. So like when you put the drum kit up, you have maybe like, I don't know, like a half meter to like stand.
Yeah. It's not like really built for like 4x12 cabinets.
No. But like
it's not two of them side to
side. It's crazy. It makes me nervous playing there. And then there's like another smaller room that we usually use for like hardcore shows. And it's got like a much more like reasonable stage where like you can fit everything and there's tons of space, and then it's only like 3 feet off the ground maybe. But
or stage dive friendly.
It is stage dive friendly, yeah.
5 feet is like fucking, it's high. It's high up there.
Well, then people even try to stage dive sometimes. Yeah, like if you want, I'll send you a video of we did like a locals fest earlier this year, which is happening again, called the Madhouse. Mm-hmm. And basically what they did is they built a riser in front of the stage that's like half the height. So it was, did you watch like Sound and Fury from last year?
No, but I watched some clips, but not recently, a couple of years ago. I don't know if they have the same venue as all the time or.
No, they did a thing last year where it was like a taller stage, but then they built like a little like narrow riser so you could stage dive. So we basically did that and made it very stage dive friendly, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I'll send you a video so you can see it.
Yeah, DM me. Yeah. That's always fun to watch. Experience, like, yeah.
But I mean, it is. I wouldn't expect it to be, because I always hear friends that go to Europe, like they love playing Europe because the venues are always either really interesting or really good. Mm. And a lot of them play like squats as well. So they're like, we get food and like a fridge full of beer. And I'm like,
yeah, there's always free beer when you get to like places around Germany. And I always appreciate that. Like a fridge full of beer. And do you know, have you ever drank Club Mate? It's like the really caffeinated, what you call it, like tea with like sparkles, carbonated tea.
No.
Club Mate. Kind of tastes like, I don't know, there's some special tea sort or something.
Like yerba mate?
It's what?
Yerba mate?
Yerba mate, probably. Yeah, it's called Club Mate. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do know what that is.
Yeah, it's like 75 centiliter kind of drink, I think. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you go in, like in and around Germany, you have like a fucking a fridge full of half beer, half Club Mate. So you're always gonna have a good time.
So just mix it the whole time. You do one mate, one beer, one.
I've actually never tried that, but that's the first thing I'm gonna do.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Oh. I remember it's like Club Mate was, we survived like I think twice. We've been driving from Germany to Stockholm, which is it's a long drive. I would say maybe 18 hours one way. And Club Mate is like, we've always had Club Mate, which made us survive, not falling asleep behind the wheel. It It's got so much caffeine in it. It's insane. I don't know how
Sounds
it's legal.
dangerous.
Yeah. But it's
Well,
actually nice, yeah.
let me know what you guys have going on for the rest of the year into next year.
Yeah, right now we are starting to write new songs again. We're hoping to. I don't want to solve way too much, but we're writing new songs and hoping to release a new 7-inch in a while. I can't say when it will be,
Okay.
but yeah, that's what we're working on right now. We also got some shows coming up. One of them is in Liverpool, I think.
Ooh.
And also some shows around Sweden, and possibly a one-off show in Europe. We actually just played our 99th show the other week, so we're celebrating our 100th show in a couple of weeks as a band, which is pretty dope.
Congratulations.
Besides just touring, thank you. Besides touring, we're writing new music, playing shows. That's pretty much it. Yeah, rehearsing all the time.
Nice.
We're a band who like really loves rehearsing, and like yeah, we do it a lot. So we got to get back to that.
Like more than once a week?
No, getting back to doing it once a week, but just
okay.
Yeah, I would consider us being really like our rehearsal band more than anything. We all will enjoy it. Yeah.
Is it like you play a set and then you talk shit for like 30 minutes, then play the set,
Definitely.
then talk shit for 30 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. We have a balcony in our rehearsal space. We always go there and talk the logistic or this shit for maybe an hour and then head back. So it would always winds up like we play like actively for, I guess, 40 minutes, but we're there like
4 hours,
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Time just goes by when we're together. I don't know why. We're all kind of weird.
That's the mark of a good band.
Yeah, we're all friends. So yeah,
happy with that's that. Great. Well, Simon, thank you so much for hanging out, taking the time. We've talked for a very long time, but it didn't feel like that long.
No, just like Outbreak.
Before we go, I just have one last question for you. What's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
It's a question I won't lie. I've been thinking about what I was going to respond to this question, and I would actually go with what Jimmy Wizard answered to this question. Definitely beans, and because of the UK, did a shit ton of beans there, and we've always been supported by people from the UK, and I love being there every single minute of it. And I also really wanted to try that baked bean pizza with barbecue sauce he was mentioning on the podcast.
I'll do that.
It sounds so good, actually.
How?
Gross, but also really good. Like barbecue as a base instead of tomato sauce. It's recipe for success.
I don't think that's what I would classify. I would not classify it for a recipe of success.
I think it might. I've had it once or twice, but I'm not really a huge like baked bean fan, but I would fuck around with it if I had it in front of me on a plate.
I mean, try it. Like, let me know if it lives up to the hype. But there's also people that I've talked to that are friends with Jimmy that said he needs to stop fucking around with the baked bean pizza.
So. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll give it a try and I'll let you know. Might send you over one from,
Please don't send me one. It sounds like an instant shit.
Yeah, definitely. But a good shit.
No.
A satisfied shit.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe satisfied, that it's like out of your system.
Agree to disagree, man. It's been so nice talking to you as well.
I wish you and the existence guys all the best. Hopefully I mean, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe I'll go to Europe and then we'll chill.
You're welcome. 100% you're welcome here. Yeah.
I would love that.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Simon for hanging out on the podcast. It was so great to be able to catch up with him after Outbreak. Be sure to check out Go to Heaven, the latest LP from Existence, available on all streaming platforms. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.